and endangerment charges Monday in Tennessee.
TLC star Amy Slaton is arrested in Tennessee.
Brace yourselves, because this story is going to have you scratching your head for days. So, our girl, Amy Slaton from 1,000 Pound Sisters, got arrested at the Tennessee Safari Park Zoo in one of the most bizarre stories ever. Well, she allegedly had to receive medical attention for an alleged camel bite. Yes, you heard that right, a camel bite. But when police arrived on the scene, they found her with a lot of illegal substances. So grab your popcorn and let's dive into why this might be the end for Amy Slaton for good.
That's the reality star in her mugshot shared by the Crockett County Sheriff's Department on Facebook. They say Amy was booked on illegal possession of drugs and 2 counts of endangerment.
Now, before we dive into the tea, let's get one thing straight. The situation itself is no joke. I mean, word on the street is Amy's dealing with some way more serious stuff like drug charges and endangering her kids. So, yeah, that's obviously not something to laugh about, but the fact that the camel bite made the actual headline is kind of wild. First of all, let me rewind a bit because I know some of y'all are sitting there wondering who Amy Slaton even is. Now, Amy Slaton is a reality TV personality best known for starring on TLC's 1,000 Pound Sisters along with her sister, Tammy. And let me tell you, Amy has got this total wild child energy, and honestly, the internet normally goes insane whenever Amy hits the headlines. Amy's always been a little unpredictable, and you never really know what's gonna happen when she's around. She's like a walking reality TV plot twist waiting to happen. Now, normally Amy's antics are usually pretty mild. She never did something that was pretty insane until now. You see, on September 3rd, Amy started trending everywhere online. At first, I was pretty confused because people were saying she was bitten by a camel at a Tennessee zoo. I mean, at first, I thought it was clickbait, but the more I looked into the story, the wilder it became. Anyway, here is allegedly how things went down. Apparently, Amy had decided to make her Labor Day really eventful, so she went to the Tennessee Safari Park. And the day did become eventful before it ended in pure chaos. Picture this. She's out there minding her business, or maybe not. I mean, this story is so crazy. Who knows how things really happened. Then, out of nowhere, a camel bites her. But wait, the story gets even wilder. After all that drama with the camel, emergency services turn up to treat Amy. Now, while they are doing their thing, police also show up, and one thing leads to another, and Amy ends up getting arrested. This time for being in possession of some illegal substances. Like, how do you go from zoo trip to hospital bed to police car all in one day? This ain't the kind of story you hear every day, that's for sure. Anyways, after the cops show up, they found some Schedule 1 and 6 illegal substances in Amy's car. Just chilling, apparently out in the open. But that was only the beginning of Amy's problems. You see, her 2 kids were in the car with her when all of this went down. And the police didn't take kindly to illegal substances being used around such young people. So on top of being bitten by a camel and getting busted with illegal stuff, she also got charged with endangering her kids. And get this whole drama got worse after Amy got exposed for allegedly lying.
I'm Megan P. at the WKRN.com alert desk. Following breaking news out of West Tennessee, the star of a reality TV show on TLC has been arrested after a day at a drive-through zoo. According to Crockett County Sheriff's, deputies responded to Safari Park in Alamo for reports of a guest being bit by a camel. Once they arrived, they were immediately overtaken by suspicious odors from the visitor's car. Amy Slaton Halterman, star on the show 1,000 Pound Sisters, was arrested for having drugs and 2 charges of child endangerment.
Now, y'all remember the camel bite. Depending on who you believe, it might not have even happened. Yeah, you heard me right. Amy's injuries might not have come from a camel. You see, according to John Conley, one of the owners of the Tennessee Safari Park, there was no way any of their camels could have possibly bitten Amy. And according to him, Amy's injuries looked like nothing even close to a camel bite. Now, you might be thinking the zoo owner is just saying that to save face, but apparently out of the thousands of people who go there every single year, no one has ever been bitten even once by a camel. And on top of that, no CCTV footage could be found by anyone at the zoo to back up Amy's story. And by the way, Amy wasn't helping herself in this situation because get this, she couldn't even remember where in the park this supposed camel attack happened.
Tammy, Amy getting loaded up. You know, she got her arm covered. They got her, still got the purple hair going on. Putting her in the back of the ambulance for her camel, alleged camel bite.
Alleged, yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
I mean, what? Like, girl, how do you not remember where the camel bit you? That is something you should remember. And now I get it. Maybe Amy was in shock or something, but finding a camel in a zoo, pretty simple. The whole issue is sus. And to make things even more suspicious, Amy's lawyer came out later and doubled down on the whole being bitten by a camel claim.
Pictures of Amy Slaton's camel bite. It looks like a camel bite to me, honey. Now, if you haven't heard this, the guy that owns Safari Park Alamo, where this went down in Tennessee, where Amy Slaton was arrested with her boyfriend, Brian Lavorne. We're going to talk about him too, because I got info on him. He has now come out and said, oh, no, I reviewed all the camera footage and Amy Slaton was not bit by a camel.
Loves, after Amy got patched up at the hospital, they hauled her ass off to jail. And, girl, that mugshot, I know y'all have seen it by now because everybody is talking about it. And listen, it's low-key iconic. Like, if you're gonna have to have a mugshot floating around the internet, at least make it a good one. It's giving, I'm a gangsta who just survived a camel bite and now I gotta deal with these charges. Y'all, this arrest is just the latest in a whole line of messes Amy Slaton has been caught up in lately. Like, we're talking drama on top of drama on top of drama, both on screen and off. And honestly, it kind of makes me sad. After she got divorced last year, things have been going downhill for her. Now, the LA Times found out that when the zoo incident happened, Amy wasn't alone. She was with some guy named Brian Scott Lavorne. I've never heard of him, but judging by the situation, let's just say they might have been having a real trip together, if you catch my drift. And when police arrested them both, Amy's car, which had her kids in it, by the way, had some strong smell of weed. Like, had they just put it out right before the cops got there?
Authorities note they were immediately overtaken by suspicious odors coming from the guest's vehicle at Tennessee Safari Park while responding to a call about a zoogoer being bitten by a camel. A man who was in the car with Amy, Brian Scott Lavorne, was also arrested and is facing the same charges. The two were taken into custody at the Crockett County Jail.
After this, Amy got released on a $10,000 bond the very next day, and get this, she and Brian were holding hands as they walked out of custody. Anyways, when this news hit the internet, people went wild with just how insane this whole story is. Just take a look at these reactions. It's never a dull moment with these sisters. I'm confused. She got bit and then went into the car to smoke? It's super unlikely that an animal bite of any kind, especially a camel bite, wouldn't leave any bruising. The amount of force they exert in their jaws is more than enough to break the surrounding blood vessels severely. And one long slash in the upper arm, the canines on the camel would have likely left smaller individual puncture wounds. Just odd. What a weird story. She got popped with weed and shrooms, so I just assumed she got high on mushrooms and did something stupid. Trying to blame the camel to get money out of them? What a loser. And her mugshot is just about the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Amy is just plain gross. Hey, animal nerd here. Camels have blunt teeth like horses made for grinding down tough plants. Her injury is clean cut as if made from a sharp blade like a scalpel or a knife. Even if the camel did bite her, there's no bruising as far as I can tell. Only one laceration mark. Animal bites usually have several. Camels, especially in petting zoos like this, aren't very aggressive since they come into contact with a lot of people throughout the day. In conclusion, I don't think she was bitten didn't at all. Something else had to have happened, and she's just blaming the camel. Amy needs to get her act together and care about her children's welfare. Get rid of the guy too. Focus on the children and her mental health. She's trading an eating addiction for a drug problem. Stop it. I worry for these boys. Y'all, but like for real, this whole situation is becoming iconic in pop culture. I mean, the fact that we're out here talking about Amy Slaton getting wrecked by a camel at a zoo is wild. And okay, I feel low-key bad for laughing because yeah, it sounds funny at first, but sis had to be rushed to the hospital and strapped to a stretcher. That camel must have done serious damage. The thing that probably jacked her all the way up, for real. It's kind of inappropriate to laugh, but come on. Anyways, if we look at this whole situation seriously right now, and if we are being honest, I just can't with Amy's drama right now. And thank goodness her kids got placed with her sister instead of CPS or something. That's one bright spot in this whole saga. Now, as much as I really hope Amy and her new man get it together for the sake of her kids, you really never know. Sometimes these things are a wake-up call, but other times people just spiral even further. I'm hoping for the best, but it's hard to say how this one will play out. Oh, and can we talk about the real issue here? Where is the camel's accountability? I'm still waiting for this alleged camel to get arrested and hit with some serious second-degree people-biting charges. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm still busy processing all of this. Anyways, what do y'all think about this whole mess that Amy has somehow found herself in? Do y'all think that there is a way back for her now? Let me know your opinions in the comments down below, and don't forget to check out my previous videos to ensure you are up to date on all the latest tea. Till next time, bye!